Hello everyone and welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 79. With me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. Welcome, so glad that you're here. Hope you are having a fabulous Friday and be a good start to your weekend. So as you can see here, hello Janelle, we have got some florals going on. I've got my silver floral earrings. Hey Philomena. And I've got my fuzzy pink chenille sweater on and a black t-shirt. So those are your clues for today's project. So we've got some floral, some pop of color, some black, maybe you've guessed it, but we are using Stampin' Up's new Forever and Always, or Love You Always suite. So it's the Forever and Always stamp set and the dies. And then this amazing black and white True Love designer series paper. The floral patterns in this are absolutely gorgeous. Of course, there's some stripes and polka dots and things like that too. But I thought it'd be fun to show you guys how to do this without necessarily, we are gonna do a little bit of coloring, but really kind of do some color blocking. Hey Susan, welcome. Oh, thank you guys for sharing. Yes, so I've got some fun black and white with a pop of color cards today using the Love You Always suite, which is the Forever and Always bundle and the True Love designer series paper. So I hope you are excited to see what we're going to make. If you have your mini catalog, this is on pages 10 through 12. That is where the Love You Always suite is found. And I'm gonna flip the camera and we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Okay, so we flip this, flip it back, okay. All right, and there you can see in the window, I've got my January host count here. So there's still about 10 days left here in the month of January to go ahead and take advantage of A Bration, get a free A Bration product for every $50 you purchase. And A Bration is only 2 months this year. It's just January and February. So if you love the awesome products in this little brochure, then you don't want to miss out. Hey Luann, welcome. All right, so my pop of color today is going to be Melon Mambo, and we're using the True Love designer series paper. And I thought I'll go ahead and show you what some of these patterns look like if you haven't seen these yet. So we've got this gorgeous black and white, and then on the other side is a geometric. So for each sheet, one is a black and white floral and the other is some kind of geometric. This pattern is gorgeous. Okay, and you get 2 sheets of each. I know mine are kind of out of order. If you love daisies and stripes, big bold flowers here, love those. And then this fun square pattern. And then this is even prettier too because it's got the ferns and the different types of flowers in there. And again, little diamond in there. So this paper is absolutely gorgeous. And if you love to color, then it's definitely for you. But today I'm going to show you a couple things that you can do that you don't necessarily have to color a ton of things. So for both cards, you're going to need a half sheet of Melon Mambo. So just take your full sheet of Melon Mambo cardstock, your 8.5 by 11, cut it down the center there at 5.5, and you will have what you need for both cards. You'll also need some basic black and some basic white, or whisper white if you have that still. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and fold this in half. And then for this one, I've chosen the polka dot pattern. I hated to hide the pretty flowers here, but I think when you see what I'm gonna do, you'll understand. I mean, love all the florals and we'll definitely be using them today, but for this project, I just needed some dainty little polka dots. Okay, and if you got January's paper pumpkin kit, then the True Love or Love You Always suite coordinates with that as well. Okay, so we've got our polka dots here. We're just gluing that on our card base. The polka dot paper here, I had cut that to 4 by 5 1/4. Now the next thing we need is a frame. So I've got a piece here of basic black cardstock. It's just a quarter sheet, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You don't really need it that big. And I'm using my stitched shape rectangles. So this is, if you're counting down from the largest, 1, 2, 3. So this is the 3rd and the 5th. Hey Doris, how are you? So the 3rd and the 5th largest of these, and you're going to put them one inside the other to make a little frame there. You're going to run it through your die cut machine and then pretend I did that. I already did that already. And you end up with something like this. It depends on if your die shift, might come out a little bit wonky, but we will. I'm trying to figure out which way I want to do this. So we're going to try to hide that as best that we can. And we'll put this down with some dimensionals. So if you've got your minis, that's great. If you've got just a full sheet here, go ahead and trim some of those edge pieces for those narrower portions of your frame. And you have stitching on both sides, but whichever side you want to go ahead and put down is fine. So I'm going to make sure we get all the way around here. So mine is just a little bit lopsided, so I can fit full-size dimensionals on the left side here. And I think I want to do a little bit extra. Let's do a piece in the middle as well. I've got 2 pieces here. That'll work out perfect. Okay, so you've got your frame all dimensionaled there. So we'll go ahead and pop these off. This is more of an artistic detail than anything else, so don't worry if your adhesive is not super duper. Hey Lori, how are you? Luann says yes, if you squint your eyes you won't notice maybe that it's lopsided. Hi Lori Longwell too. So we got 2 Loris going on here today. Welcome. And I think too, let me see, this perhaps looks a little more square at the top. All right, well, we're gonna go for it. And I think the way I'm going to arrange my flowers. Oh, look, I did get it perfectly even. So you've got the dots are nice and even on each side there. So at least I did that well. Got a good visual there. All right, so for this next part, I'm gonna do a little bit of fussy cutting. So I've pulled out, I won't make you watch it, I'm just gonna show you what I did. I used this pattern. So this has the 3 cluster flowers. They could be roses, magnolias, cherry blossoms. I don't know, you guys tell me, what kind of flowers do you think these are? And so what I did is fussy cut one of these trios. I went ahead and did that before so you didn't have to watch me do that. And I don't have any kind of laser cut or anything. I just used my little snips, and you can tell I didn't get super close around there. I've got a little white border, and some spots are better than others, but that's okay. And we're going to color those with our Stampin' blends. Now you could use your colored pencils or whatever you want, but I wanted definitely that nice pop of color. Hey Diana, how are you? So I'm gonna go ahead and use my blends. And since we're using Melon Mambo as our card base, I finally got my Melon Mambo blends ordered. Somehow I had overlooked those in the catalog, but they were new, definitely new this year, and this year's annual catalog. There's a little N on here. This is page 142 of the annual catalog. And because our color collection, Stampin' Up's already done all that work for us, I thought, well, if I'm doing Melon Mambo, then let's do a trio since we've got 3 flowers. So I'm going to pull in Poppy Parade and Flirty Flamingo as well. And we'll do our leaves in Granny Apple Green. So we're really we're going bright on this one. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's start with our leaves. Sometimes that's a little easier. I'm gonna start with my lightest color and the brush tip here. Hey Kim, how are you? And we're just gonna go color all over that. And that's the nice thing about this. You don't have to be, well, you probably shouldn't color on your flowers with green, but you don't have to be too fussy here. All right, let's just go all the way around here. You can just spin your paper. And the reason I'm using a little bit of chipboard, cardboard underneath here is just because I don't want it to bleed through onto my surface in case we get a little, see how it's coming through there on the back. Hey Gladdy, how are you? All right, so now I'm gonna take my dark Granny Apple Green and the more detailed tip, and this is where I'm gonna come in and do just a little bit of shading. Follow some of those lines. That's another great thing about this paper is really Stampin' Up! Has done all the work. You just don't need to do much and it looks fabulous. Okay, so just coming in. So I'm just tracing the big line up the middle and then accenting some of those smaller details. And I think that looks awesome already. All right, so that was Granny Apple Green, light and dark. And now I think, yes, I'm making sure my flowers are going in the right direction here. So let's go ahead, let's make our main flower this, the Melon Mambo. So I'm gonna do that same thing, take the lighter color with my brush tip and just go all over. Whew, told you that was gonna be bright. I love it. Do not be afraid of bold colors. All right. If you're worried you're gonna color outside the lines, like I get a little carried away sometimes, that's why I did that little bit of tracing around there. Okay, so got that. All right, now we're gonna come in with our dark color here, the bold tip, and highlight some of that. Like I said, Stampin' Up! Has done so much of that for us already. You can even trace the petals if you want. I'm gonna come in and just scribble that dark color all over there in the flower center. Come in and trace some of these petals. But I love the blends. They're not hard to use at all. You don't need any special training like Copics or anything like that. They are designed to be ready to go. Okay, let me see that little spot up there. There we go, a little bit darker there. Okay, I think that's good. Now let's come in. Like I said, I took all these from the Brights collection here. So let's Stampin' Up! Do the work for you. Now we're going to do, I've got my Poppy Parade and my Flirty Flamingo. So I think I'll do the smaller flower here with the Flirty Flamingo. Again, coloring all over with my light. Sometimes it's hard to tell which petals there belong to which flower. Okay, and then coming in with the dark. Again, just kind of tracing some of those. And then look at that, we hid the fact that we colored out of the lines with our green, so no worries there. Okay, just about, but isn't that awesome how the two-tone gives it that added dimension there? Very cool. All right, and last but not least, Poppy Parade. Did anybody decide which flowers these are yet? I don't know if they could be a type of rose. It could be magnolias. They're pretty, whatever they are. Hey, Mom, how's it going? All right, and come in with the dark here for your center. Scribble around a little bit. All right, we'll just kind of trace some of these. So it's not taking too long. Do you guys enjoy coloring? I know some people really like it. You could color a whole sheet of this at one time if you wanted to. Like those coloring book pages, that's what this paper, it's pretty awesome. All right, so pretty. Okay, so, and that's why we've got a pretty colored side on the back too. All right, so let's grab our dimensionals and put some of them on here. So I'm gonna go for each flower tip there, and then a couple here in the center. All right, lots of dimensionals. And then this will go onto our frame and hopefully hide the fact that I cut the frame a little lopsided. So let's see, how about, I want it to stay within the boundaries of the card. Let's see, I think I'm gonna go something like that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that fun? Love that. All right, so we need just a little bit of, we need a word or something. I guess I could have come down a little bit further. Maybe I should have centered it a little bit more. I need a word here, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my adhesive sheets. So these come in six inches wide here, and they're 12 inches long. So I have got a scrap. This is a 1 inch wide piece here. So I've cut a piece of basic black. That is the 1x6. So where it says peel, I'm gonna go ahead and take the layer off. It's kind of like the dimensional layer. And then you're going to adhere your basic black, your cardstock right on top. Okay, and then we're going to put this on our die plate with our greeting. So the greeting I'm using today, love this set. This is called the Well Written Framelit dies. These are in the annual catalog. And in these you get 2 sheets of words. You do have some cute little extras like a little butterfly and a bird and some flowers and leaves and a little swirly cue down here. But the sentiments are great. So you've got everything, sympathy, birthday, thanks, smile, baby. You could do miss you. I think that says, what does that say? Bride, hooray, welcome, happy, love, all kinds of things on here. So you can mix and match and combine and do different phrases on here. So I've chosen the friend sentiment. So I put that on top, and these, they come out, they're kind of skinny. So that's why it's nice to adhere it to your adhesive sheet. And then when you die cut it, you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to stick it on with glue dots or liquid glue or anything like that. So that, all right, so I take it out here. What did it do? It slid on me. Okay, let me try that again. It slid on me in my machine and I didn't quite get it cut out. Just a bit there. Let me take my little snips and poke out those little bits. Okay, let's try this again with my machine lined up correctly. Yes, the adhesive sheets are pretty awesome. Those are in the annual catalog too. They're on the page with all the rest of the adhesives. So this is what you got here. And we'll pop this out. Isn't that cool? These are the well-written dies. These are on page, let me turn in my annual catalog here. oops. These are on page 183. Here you go, and that way it spells out what you get. Oh, groom, bride and groom, that was the one I missed. And wishes, so you could combine words and make different phrases and things. So you get 24 dies in there, but it is great. It's really nice to have some of these different sentiments and things. So that was page 183 in the annual catalog. And then you've got this, all you need to do then is flip it over, remove the backing, and your adhesive is stuck right there on your die cut. So we could come in here, could go across our flowers. Let's try that. And let me see, I've got the dot to the eye. Let's see if I can, oops, I had it. Did anybody see where it went? Had the dot to the eye. Let me see if I can go ahead. Oh, I did it. I got the backing off. Look at that. Even was able to get the dot to my eye. Isn't that cool? And it's stuck on there. I don't have to worry about it. It's not going to come off. And I didn't have to mess with any glue. So that is the first card. I think if I were to do it just a little differently, I would move these flowers down just a little bit on the frame, just so that they were centered. I had equal polka dots kind of on the top and the bottom there. But nonetheless, I think that came out pretty nice. All right, so for the next card, you're going to need your other half of your Melon Mambo cardstock for your card base. And this time we're going to use the bundle, the Forever and Always, the whole bundle here, the stamp set and the dies that go with that. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, thank you, Janelle. I'm glad you guys like it. But aren't those colors amazing? Sometimes you think mixing pinks and reds, but maybe they wouldn't work, but oh, they come out perfect. Love that. And it looks like you're a super artist, when really it was just some quick coloring. All right, so we're gonna do a horizontal landscape card for this one. And for these, I thought the paper was just the spotlight of this. So I'm not using no ribbon. I mean, super easy. All right, so this one we are going to add a couple of layers. So our basic black here is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. So we're gonna go ahead and glue this right down. That's the other cool thing about using these dies for your greetings, is you don't have to worry about whether you can glue everything down, because you don't have to worry if you misstamp and have to flip the paper over. Okay, so we got black. Now we're going to add some white. We're building our layers here. If I thought ahead, we probably could have die cut something out of the center, but that's okay. So it'll just be a sturdy card. So our next layer here, the Whisper, the basic white. If you're not familiar, Stampin' Up's supplier has changed, so our Whisper White products are now called Basic White. It's the same thing. And this layer is 3 3/4 by 5. So just 1/4 of an inch smaller. And that's going right in the center here. Yes, Lori says it makes such a difference when you use the darker, when we use the darker blend to highlight it. It does, because then you get the two-tone for each of those colors. It really is amazing. All right, so we've got our awesome color combination here, Melon Mambo, basic black, basic white. For this one, I thought we'd use this, really, it's a busier floral pattern. They're daintier flowers. And what I'm going to do with this, I want this to go across the front. And we're going to use, instead of stamping, I'm going to die cut the Always. So in this bundle here, we've got all kinds of dies. You have 2 Always and 2 Love. One is the bold to cut out, you'll see I'm gonna cut out kind of the silhouette, and then the other is the detailed that goes on top, okay? And then you've got, for all the little words and things, you've got these fun little angled die cuts, flowers that work on both the stamps and the paper, and then extra little things too, some for the leaves. So it's a great die cut set, a great bundle here. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is cut out our silhouette. So we need the open always here. So we go ahead, put this on our Big Shot or our die cut plate here. Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Sometimes we've been using something for a while. It takes you a while to get the new names. All right, so center that on there so that when it's gonna be on your card, you're even top, bottom, and the sides. So we'll run that through. I already did that too. So this is what you got, which doesn't look like much to start with, but look what happens when I take a 2-inch, this is 2-inch by 4-inch piece of Melon Mambo and stick it behind. Now it starts to take shape a little bit. Oh, Janelle says, like me, you've built a lot of layers during this COVID year. Yes. So yes, this card has a lot of layers. It does, but I think it's gonna be pretty awesome in the end. So what I've stuck that behind. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my adhesive on here. We'll stick our Melon Mambo in it, and then we can put it on our card base. Okay, so just going all the way around. Okay. All right, let's stick this down first, make sure we're covered. So if you flip it over, you shouldn't see any white spot behind it. All right, now let's go ahead and put some adhesive on this too so that it actually sticks to our card base. So I'm gonna go this right in the center. Okay. Yeah, I think it's even. All right, now we need the detailed piece, our little detailed always, to go through there. So just like the other one, I've got a scrap of the adhesive sheet. This piece is about 2 3/4 by 6 here. It's just the size that my sheet was, because they do come 6 by 12. And I don't always want a whole 6 by 12 sheet of something. So I cut it into smaller pieces, and that way you can use them for whatever little projects you have. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Make sure we're on there. Run this through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. Okay, so pull this out. It's nice, it's all one, this is all one piece here. So we're just gonna poke it to pull this out, pop out the little extras between the loops there. They come out pretty easy. I didn't use my magnetic plate or anything. They just cut out nice and smooth. And then go ahead and peel the backing off. Try not to stick it to itself. All right, so I've got this, and now we're going to fill in the blank, so to speak. So we're gonna just go right on top. Oh, isn't that cool? So now I know it's a lot of layers to start with, and you were like, why do you have that hole with the pink in the middle with the Melon Mambo? But doesn't that look cool now that you've got it filled in there? Hi Jody, welcome. Yeah, so isn't that's really neat. So we've got that part. Now we need a little bit of a greeting. So we have all of these builder phrases here. And since I did always, I thought I would do forever and always. And then I used the little dies that came here in the bundle. You've got small, medium, and large. So they fit your little phrases. And yes, you could just use scraps of paper. In fact, I had just a 1/2-inch piece that's I was going to use, and you could cut it down to size because keep a bag of scraps. Like this is my white scrap bag. So I always just rip through it to see what I've got. But the cool thing with those little dies, I'm not sure if you can tell, but once you do it, you end up with just a little bit of an embossing, a little framing detail around there, which is really quite cool. So I'm gonna grab my foam mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set here. And I've got my forever and always, and I'm going to use Memento Black. You could use any of your colored ink pads. You could do Melon Mambo here. If you're using black with photopolymer, the Memento Black is the better black. You could use StazOn, but you want to make sure that you get your stamp cleaned immediately because the solvent in the StazOn ink does not always like the photopolymer. So we're going to go ahead and do that right on top there. Ho ho! I can't always quite see the angle of my camera here, so I always celebrate when I have that stamped and it comes out just like I wanted it to. And then it's got those neat angled ends, which are even because I didn't have to snip them with my scissors, so love that. Clean my stamp there. All right, let me go ahead and grab my dimensionals here. Just need a couple more little ends or minis. Minis aren't handy, so I'm gonna just cut a dimensional in half. And we'll go ahead and put, whoops, dropped it there. Put each half in here. All right, now that we've got that, we can go ahead and put this on here. Let's see, where do we want it to go? Maybe like right here. That way it kind of makes sense as you read it there across the screen. And we need, I think this one doesn't have quite the color variety that the first one did. So I think we need an extra little pop of something, an embellishment. So I've got two options. I've got my matte black dots. Hey Pam, you caught me. Welcome. I've got my matte black dots that are part of the Love You Always suite. Or I've got the Artistry Blooms sequins. And I was thinking that this is technically Rich Razzleberry, but I thought maybe it would pick up some of that color and kind of coordinate. So what do you guys think? Should I go with the black dots or the colored sequins? I'm gonna wait just a minute. We'll see what you guys think. I thought I needed just a couple of accents around here. Hi Janet, welcome. Oh, thank you guys. I'm glad you like this card. Yes, so go ahead. Okay, Doris is voting for the black dots. I think this card needs some embellishments. So, okay, we've got one vote for black dots, one for colored sequins. Oh, they're coming in equal. Then we've got Lori says black dots. Mom says colored sequins. All right, so we're 2 for 2. So we need a fifth commenter here to break the tie. All right, meanwhile, I'm going to find my snips here so that I am ready to go. All right, anybody else have a vote? Okay, Susan says colored, so that's what it is. We've got We had to have a tiebreaker. Doris says black. You only get one vote, Doris. You guys are funny. All right, so let's go ahead and decorate some of these. I thought, well, let's put a pop of color here and there and see what we can come up with. All right, let's see. Let's do something there. And then we do another one. Let's see. How about over here? Or should I do it on the white? Maybe on the white. That looks kind of cool to have something down here. Lori said she was gonna vote twice too. You guys are funny. All right, I think it needs a little, I think I'm gonna do more than 3 on this one. Let's go for 5. I just think this needs just a little extra something here. All right, let's do that. Just trying to decide where I want to put these sequins. Let's do that. Let's go over here. Now we've got kind of on the way. It's kind of spilling across the card. All right, what do you guys think? Little bits of color in there. I think it was nice to have just a little bit of pop, and then when you pick it up in the light, it does kind of pick up that melon mambo tint there. Has that fun reflection on it. But I thought that was pretty cool. So, I mean, this paper is gorgeous with all those flowers. It'd be really fun to color, but this way it shows you could just use the black and white with a pop. Melon mambo is a fun pop of color there. And then on the original here, we did fussy cut the little bouquet of flowers here. We did our bright shades of Melon Mambo, Flirty Flamingo, and Poppy Parade, and used our well-written dies to die cut the sentiment there. Taking advantage of our adhesive sheets for both. Love them. All right, Doris, she's asking if I have my glitter pen. Haha, I do have it handy. What do you think? What should I glitter? I'm not sure if I want to Stella my flowers since I've already got my greeting across there. So I'm gonna wait a minute and see what idea Doris had for Stella. I call this this is Wink of Stella, and it's just a clear shimmer paint, which does do some really neat things. For the always, I don't know. I think if I put it on there, then it's not going to be quite as bright. Let me see. Let's test it out on my scrap. So if I were to do it on here, all right, let's do a little tester. I'm going to shake it up good first. Let's see. Lori says I could Stella just the middle of the flowers. That I could do. That's pretty easy. So just paint that on here. Okay, so let's do that. We'll just kind of, this one doesn't really have, it's not open the same way, but you can see you get that fun, I think the camera's picking it up a little bit, that fun little bit of sparkle. Oh, thank you, Pam, for sharing. Appreciate that. So let's see here. Oh, I like it. Let me see. All right, I've committed here. Once you start, you can't stop. You noticed I can't talk and Stella at the same time. Let's see here. Can you guys see that on the camera, the shimmer? All right, I need to re-shimmer. All right, let's see here. And I'm not squeezing my brush at all as I'm applying this because I do not want it to come out in a glob a little overzealously. So I'm just gently going with what's on my brush. All right, whew, I did it. All right. What do you think? What do you think, Doris? Did it come out like you thought? It is definitely sparkly. Yes, it does add some extra bling in a sense to it. So I do like that. I think I need to tack these centers down just a little bit. Let me see, do I have some glue dots handy? All right, let me just gently grab a glue dot to stick underneath. I'm gonna do that under here. Whoop, I shot it at myself. I have no idea where, I think it's like stuck to my body somewhere. All right. I've never had that happen before. All right, let's see. I'm gonna just stick this right down. That way that piece doesn't keep popping up on me. And I think once I stick it in an envelope for a little bit, the paper will get used to being down and it won't be too bad there. I think that'll go back to where it's supposed to be. All right. Well, these are our fabulous Forever and Always cards with the True Love Designer Series paper. Great for coloring, for doing some color blocking, all kinds of fun stuff there. I hope you enjoyed these projects. It was fun spending my Friday afternoon with you all. You have a great rest of your day, a fabulous weekend. Hi, Connie. Thanks for watching. Yes, and this will be available for replay if you missed the beginning. And if you are watching the replay on YouTube, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my video, leave me comments, and thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe, that little bell, and subscribe so you get notifications when I have new videos or when I'm going live. So thank you guys. Aw, you're so welcome. Love to you all, and we'll stamp with you again soon. Take care.